Hi guys, so our story for today is called Chrysanthemum by Kevin Hanks. Let's get started. The day was born with the happiest day in her parents' life. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew older and older, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. She loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. What a very long name. I wonder how many letters is in the word chrysanthemum. I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. 13 letters in chrysanthemum. I wonder how many syllables it has. Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Wow, 4 syllables in that name. Let's see what else happens. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile, and she ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School! But when Miss Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Let's see. It says Don, Eve, Luis, Al, Les, Kay, Max, Sue, Bill, Pat, Tom, Sam, Ken, Joe, Rita, Victoria, Chrysanthemum. All of the other people's names only have 1 syllable. Don, Eve, Luis. Oh, Louis has 2. Al, Les, Kay, Max, Sue, Bill, Pat, Tom, Sam, Ken, Joe, Rita, she has 2 syllables, Victoria, oh, she has 4, and Chrysanthemum has 4. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She didn't think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Judd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelt with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as there is in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Miss Judd. Now put your head down. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, said Victoria. As the students lined up to go home, I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful, and precious, and priceless, and fantastic, and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. Look, her dad's reading a book called The Inner Mouse, Volume 1, Childhood Anxiety. He's probably trying to figure out how to help his daughter with her worries. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane, and it was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her foot in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, A chrysanthemum is a flower, and it lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Miss Chudd. Now put your head down. I just can't believe your name, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even looked like a flower, and they pretend to pick me and smell me. Oh, pish, said her mother. They're just jealous, and envious, and begrudging, and discontent, and judish, said her father, but wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. Look, her dad's reading a book, A Rose by Any Other Name, Understanding Identity. Sure looks like Dad's trying to help her. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals, and Victoria picked her and plucked her leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare Chrysanthemum has had in her life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route to school as possible. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Miss Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Miss Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Miss Twinkle led the students in scale. La 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 la. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen to be the fairy queen. Rita was chosen to be the spiffy butterfly princess. Jo was chosen to be an all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy. Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. What's so humorous? Said Miss Twinkle. Chrysanthemum was the answer. Her name is so long, said Jo. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. She's just named after a flower. My name is too long, said Miss Twinkle. It is? Said Jo. My name would scarcely fit on a name tag, said Miss Twinkle. It would? Said Rita. And, said Miss Twinkle, I'm named after a flower, too. You are? Said Victoria. Yes, said Miss Twinkle. My name is Deletaphim. Delificum, Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum scarcely could believe her ears. She blushed. She beamed. She bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Jo, Rita, Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Jo. Call me Carnation, said Rita. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it was absolutely perfect. Overall, the class musical was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was absolutely perfect as a daisy. Victoria made only one mistake. She completely forgot her lines as the dainty fairy queen. Chrysanthemum thought it was wildly funny, and she giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Miss Twinkle gave birth to a healthy baby girl, and of course, she named her Chrysanthemum. The end. In this story, we see that kids are teasing Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew up proud of her name, proud of who she was, and because of some simple things that other kids thought, she completely started to second think herself, and her self-esteem started to wilt, and she didn't feel good about being herself anymore. It's really sad. That happens a lot in school. When you get to kindergarten, sometimes kids are mean and they make fun of you and they say mean things, and it makes you feel like you're not You're not happy. And you know what? In the end, you need to be happy with you. It doesn't matter what other people say about us because they're just silly. They don't know who we are. When I was young, I was always sad because people made fun of me all the time. But as I grew up, I learned a lesson that it doesn't really matter what other people think of me, it only matters what I think of me. And after I learned that lesson, that it only matters what I think, all of those bad things that people would say about me didn't hurt me anymore. And I became one of the most popular people in school. People loved to be around me because I was happy and I was bubbly and I was super, super fun to be around because I just didn't care what other people thought of me. And you know what? I had the most fun. So just like Chrysanthemum needed to find a way to appreciate herself again and have her friends at school realize that she is really cool and important, it all started with a little bit inside. If you believe you're amazing, then you're amazing. And if you believe it, other people will believe it. So I encourage you to always stand strong and always believe in yourself and always know that you are amazing and that you are perfect just the way you are. And nobody else can ever tell you anything different. Alrighty. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.